All right, well, welcome guys. We are doing some East Coast swing right now. So today we're going to review our traveling basic that we did on our last lesson. We're going to show you a variation on the traveling basic, and then we're going to move to a fairly advanced move called the underarm spin. So our traveling basic, right, this is the reviewing one. This is where we're doing 4 triple steps in a row, and then a turning basic after that. So the man's part is rock, step, triple 1, triple 2, triple 3, triple 4. Then we do our curving basic to cut the lady off and let her know we're done. I'll do that again. Triple 1, triple 2, triple 3, triple 4, and our turning basic again to go through there. Right? Ladies part, the exact opposite of that as far as that goes. The man does rock, step, triple 1, triple 2, triple 3, triple 4, and then the man's going to do that turning basic and bring us around. I'm going to do that one more time, then I'm going to bring out non, we'll dance that together, and I'm going to bring up a couple real quick things. So rock, step, triple 1, triple 2, triple 3, triple 4, and curving basic to finish that up. And that's our basic traveling basic and swing. So I'm going to bring that out, and we're going to go through that. And I'm going to bring up a couple of important points there. The most important, actually, just one really. On this, we want to make sure that the man's left hand comes up to an upright or vertical or normal position, if you will, from out of swing hold to like a normal rumba or cha-cha hold. So we're doing rock, step. I'm picking that hand up. That helps us close up. When the hand is down, it forces us into the V. So in order for us to square up, we have to get that arm out of the way. So we're doing rock, hand up, triple 1, triple 2, triple 3, triple 4, and then through. Now you're going to notice that that version that I just did and the one I'm about to do next are slightly different. If you look back at the video and what you just saw, you're going to see hand up, hand down, hand up, hand down. Right? That is one way to do it. The way I'm going to do it this time, the hand's going to stay up the whole time. Whichever one works better for you, right? They're both viable and good. Rock, step. So I brought the hand up. I kept it up this time for all the triples, but I do make sure that I bring the hand down before I dance that turning basic at the end. All right, so that was the review of our traveling basic. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go into a little more advanced version of the traveling basic, and instead of the 4 triples on this traveling basic, we're going to dance 2 triples and then 4 single swivel walks. Now, when I say 4 single swivel walks, what I mean by single is they're not triple rhythm, they're single beats. Like if you think merengue, we step on each count, we're stepping on each count for those last 4 moves. Those 4 counts, we're going to rotate or swivel the body, the hips in particular, right, with each of those actions. And what's important about doing that swiveling action is making sure that when we place the foot, that the foot is placed on the ball of the foot, not flat. If the foot is flat, you can't turn and your body gets broken to do that. By keeping just the ball of the foot on there, and it's not the toes, it's just the ball of the foot, right? That allows me to swivel as I move. So on each of those steps, I'm using the ball of the foot. You'll see the side steps, it's very obvious and exaggerated, and the forward step, it's not so much exaggerated, but it is still on the ball of the foot as we do that. So the man's part for this traveling basic, again, we've got 2 triples and 4 swiveling walks. So we have rock, step, triple 1, triple 2, then we have swivel, 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 and then our turning basic back into the end of it. I'm going to do that same thing again. So we have triple 1, triple 2, swivel, 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 triple step out, and our basic. And again, it's the same thing for the lady. She's from her rock step. She's doing rock, step, triple 1, triple 2, swivel, 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 turning basic, triple step, and rock one more time. So it's triple 1, triple 2, swivel, 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 triple basic, and triple step, and rock. So I'm going to bring Na out here, and we'll do a couple of angles of that so you can see that. Going 3 different directions here so you can see all the angles. So from the rock, we have rock, hand up, triple 1, triple 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, hand comes down, and then we do our turning basic. And again, the same thing going back the other way. Hand comes up, first triple, second triple, 1, 2, 3, 4, triple step, and triple step. And we're going to do one more set going right at you on the camera so you can see how the bodies are excuse me, operating through that process. So we have rock, step, triple 1, triple 2, swivel, 2, 3, 4, and then turning basic. And there we go. All right, so that's our advanced version of the traveling basic. Okay? And then our final pattern, in some respects, is really simple because it's just a swing basic, but it's bringing in some other techniques that we don't have in a swing basic. So first of all, this is called an underarm spin. So when you hear us use the word spin, S-P-I-N, put quotations around that, put a capital S on front of it. That means there's a very specific action that we are expecting to see or do when we're doing a traveling spin, right? And some of the things that are important to understand about a spin: it's done on one foot. You are rotating on the ball of the foot, but you do want your foot flat on the floor. But your weight is resting on the ball of the foot. So as you turn, the heel can move, right? Because the weight's on the ball of the foot. You do not want to do a spin on the toe, because unless you're a professionally trained ballet dancer who has spent the last 35 years learning to spin on one foot, you will fall over. In other words, if you do the same move and you try and spin on your toes, you're probably going to fall over because your platform isn't big enough or stable enough. So the spin that we're going to do is flat-footed, but the weight is all held on the ball of the foot, right? So that's the first thing you want to understand about spins. When you see the girls doing things like this, or they're really spinning, you know, you see it maybe in salsa or some of the professional competitions, those are spins, right? And there are many different kinds of spins. This is kind of our introduction to spinning here, doing this underarm spin. Now, the second thing that you want to know that's super important for the man is that our first triple step is no longer going to be going sideways like it does on a basic. Our triple step, normally coming out of a rock, would go east and west. Where our next move coming out of this rock, we're going to go north rather than west. So we're going to come out of the rock actually going forward into that triple, right? So if you saw it from the side, I'd be doing a rock step and I'm going forward, okay? And then that will be the same for the lady. Now, when we do that action, I'm going to bring Na out here for just a minute so you can kind of compare and see both sides, and then we'll get into how to lead it and how to actually do the pattern. So if Na was doing a rock step and she was squared up to the camera, what we're going to do right now is we're going to pretend there's a magic marker down the center of Na's leg, or like my men's pants have a crease down there, right? No matter what happens with Na's body as she does this move, this leg is going to be on a rail, is going to follow right toward the camera. So as Na comes out of that rock and rotates and starts to go forward, that leg is going right at the camera regardless of where her shoulders or head or hips are at, right? And at the end of that move, then she's going to spin, right? So she's going to be dancing a rock step, a triple step, and it's on the step of the triple, the spin occurs. So she's going to do rock, step, triple spin, triple step, and rock. We're going to do that again. Triple spin, triple step, and rock. Now, why that's important, right? So Na's going to do it correct, and I'm going to do what you would probably do, right, the first time you did this. So we're going to do our rock, step, and bingo. So now what you're going to notice is our shoulders kind of look the same. But if you look down at our feet right now, my feet have turned the way my body did. That means on that spin, I have to go 90 degrees in my spin before I get to where na is now. Well, that means I've made it much harder on myself to do that spin, right? So as we do that rock step this time, okay, we're going to see rock, and you're going to see our legs go right to the camera for that action, and then we spin, and then we come out of it with our triple step. Na did it great. I fell over. Just go on over there. Leave me alone. All right, now, showing up the teacher. All right, now the next thing then is how did we get into this and how did we set it up? How do we lead it? So first of all, oh, you know what? I'm sorry, I need you back out here again now. My bad. So there's three ways that we can get to. This pattern is done with a handshake hold, so right to right hand hold. So there's a couple ways we can do that. Number one, we can do a release break. Now, a release break is the swing version of an open break in rumba or cha-cha. So I'm going to do triple step. I'm going to release my partner and change hands, most importantly, before the rock. You never want to be changing hands on the rock because everything that we're going to do comes off of the rock, right? So however we're doing that hand change or getting there, this has to happen and be completely done and set before we do the rock, right? So there's the release break. I could do this from a basic underarm turn to ripple step, to ripple step, and change hands at the end of it. I could do it from not an underarm turn, but a change of places. Rock, step, to ripple step. As she comes by, I made my hand change, right? So both of those all those entries are roughly the same. So here's how it's going to work. We're going to do our rock step, right? Both of us are going to be going forward toward each other. So you're going to see the arms kind of retract a little bit because we're going toward each other. If we didn't, Na wouldn't be able to move toward me because my arm's extended. It would keep her out there. So as we do this rock step and we do rock step, you're going to see my arm retract so we can do this triple. We want to be very careful not to travel very far because if Na and I both travel, we'll be past each other, right? So that won't work. So it may occur for you with our body shape like we did a big move, but you really want to watch the feet so that you can see that we're taking small triple. Rock step to ripple step. Now when she gets on that step, I'm going to take the hand around and spin her, still maintaining that hand hold. We do our second triple and move away to ripple step and rock. So we're going to do that again. Rock, forward triple, to ripple step. One more time. Rock, step, forward triple, to ripple step, and rock step. All right. So there you go, guys. That is our swing class for this week. So we did a review of the traveling basic. We learned a new traveling basic. And then we also did an underarm spin. All right. Thank you very much, guys.